All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the course. Let's go around moving things here in space. So here's the thing. I selected this cube, I want to move it. How do I do that? Well, I don't see anything around here to select, if I want to translate it or rotate it or scale it. Where is that? So that thing is actually hidden, perhaps for some of you, but if it's hidden for you, that's something you can unhide very, very easily. You can just press the T. You can see I'm pressing T, the T key. T as in Tyrannosaurus Rex, something like that. That's what I could come up with right now. Right? So when you open this menu that I call the T menu, you can actually see your transformation things that you can use to actually move things around. So I am going to select my cube and I'm going to say, hey, I want to move it. So let's do it. Now I can move it. I can then click on my arrow and move it in the desired direction. So I am moving along the y-axis. How do I know it's the y-axis? Right here, let's look at this. This thing is telling me the name of the axis. So the red one is the x-axis, the green one is the y-axis, and the blue one is the z-axis, right? The height. Some other 3D software actually do it the other way around, where the height is the y-axis, but Blender actually says that the z-axis is the height axis, so do keep that in mind. And where the name is located, because you see that I have a y-axis, which is this one, all this one, but I have positive and negative values. How do I know which way the positive values go? If I move this around and I can disorient myself, how does it work? Well, where you see the actual y here, right here, let me just zoom in a little bit, where you see the actual y, the z, and the x, that's where the positive values go. So if I move it towards that orientation, that is moving towards the positive y values, and here towards the positive x values, and here towards the negative x values, right? You can see here, I'm just going to do Control Z to put it back in the middle. Right here, you'll see right here in this corner, right here. When I'm moving, it's telling me how much I am moving it right here, right there, you see it. And when I move it in the negative numbers, that number right there in that corner is going to be negative, which is great because we know it's working as it should. I can also move up and move down. Right, well, what are these squares right here that I'm seeing? Well, that means that you can click on them and you can move in two axes at the same time. So if I click on this one, I'm going to be moving both in the X and Y direction, but I won't be leaving the Z direction at all. I'm always going to be at 0, right? I'm not going to be moving up or down. You can see that. And also with this one, that's just going to be between the Y and Z axis, and this one is going to be between the X and Y axis and Z axis. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be moving it through this one. So that's pretty cool that you can do that. Let's also rotate, pretty simple as well. You can rotate along all the axes right there. You can see that. Pretty neat. Or you can select this outer one that is white, and it will just kind of rotate based on the view you have on the object. So that's really neat. That's rotation. Let's undo all that. And now let's do a scaling. And you can just scale along the y-axis, x-axis, and z-axis. And the same applies as in moving, changing our location, which is actually called move, right here. So I can actually scale in two axes at the same time by pressing the squares. You can see that. So that's really neat. All right, what's this one? Transform. So transform would actually give us the three of them together. So I can move. You can see that. I can move, but I can also rotate and scale. Oops. And scale. So yeah, if you want to leave that enabled, you are free to do so. So that's actually how you move things around. It's very simple. However, there is this one little thing where Blender lets us do these very same things, but in a more efficient and dynamic way with what they call shortcuts. So that's what we're going to learn next. So I'll see you on the next video.